Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of Back to Basics with myself, Slinky, and AZ. Sorry this one's a little bit late. I had some problem with work last week, so we are running 2 days late. But in the meantime of running the 2 days late, the Halo button came out today, which Mr. Harry is oh so happy around because he can talk about it. Few things to talk about. That being the main one, as this is the official announcement and the actual breakdowns of all the weapon tunings and things like that. Sorry I'm dressed like this as well. I've just finished work and Adam was crying like a bitch. I want to go stream. I want to get my phone. You can't get home and I'm not even online.
Look amazing. It's as we dub in like Justin Timberlake, suit and tie.
Can you imagine this now? Just me being a professional commentator. Hello there. I'm the Chris Kamara of Halo. Anyway, so yeah, a couple of things to go through. The big one is obviously the weapon tune are official, and we have the stats down. A couple of things we didn't know, a couple of things we did do. I suppose it's confirmed, the BR, blah, blah, blah. I'll let Harry and Izzy talk about it. Move on to Ramirez's post regarding V4, the US-EU divide, what we've decided, what he decided in the rest of the community and things like that. A quick note on some of Puckett's latest tweets about Halo and various things, blah, blah, blah. A quick overview of the PGL, or the Pro Gaming League as it's now known. It's kind of essentially, for me, a bit of a game battle stroke with money kind of thing. We'll have a look at it. And we'll drop a quickie on the new Destiny trailer, The Law of the Jungle. Yeah, straight into it tonight, because we've been running late anyway. We're going to dive into the Halo Bulletin 5.29.13. I can't remember.
That's just the date.
Is it?
So, yeah, they just name it like that. So basically, Halo Bulletin came out, and as we all know, weapon balancing, which is coming this Monday, June the 3rd, is a massive one because it pretty much breakdowns everything that pretty much they've been working on for the last maybe 6, maybe 8 weeks on weapon balancing, ever since we found out about it. So it's a pretty big one. Honestly, the biggest thing that came out of this was that I thought it was mainly down to primary weapon tuning, but also there's been a few updates to a couple of other weapons, including the saw and the Warthog chain gun, as we covered last week, but we'll get to that. So first on the list, the battle rifle. The full list of the breakdown that changes to the battle rifle is the battle rifle damage has been increased, which is great. It now kills in, if I'm not mistaken, 11 out of 12 shots. Obviously, you shoot 3 shots per burst. So 11 out of 12 shots per burst, and that is a 4 shot. So that is amazing. The rate of fire has been slightly decreased, which is interesting. I don't really know why they've done that, to be honest. Last I heard, it had been increased, so maybe it was a little bit overpowered at the tuning event that they had. The red reticle range, similar to the DMR, has also been decreased, and the big one for me, which we discussed last week, is that the 2 bursts from a battle rifle followed by a melee will now kill an opponent. So it's a 2-shot beatdown kill. That's fantastic. You've
been crying for this one for a while on the forums, haven't you?
Amazing. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? The battle rifle, how do you think it will play out?
I'll let you have it though. Yeah,
I'll let you know.
Yeah, no, like everything about it, like it's pretty much what we've been asking for and crying for since I can remember, was a battle rifle that works. And from what Ninja said at the stream, obviously we covered it last week, the BR seems to be a lot better, and now that 2-shot beatdown has been put in effect, that means we no longer have to, modify our settings. We can all have the same game type. We can play that playlist and, all have the same settings.
For someone like myself who's uneducated, because I honestly don't know, what's the difference between, we've made our own 4-shot, how have we made that, and how does that differ to the one that they're releasing?
The 4-shot settings that we had released had altered damage modifiers. So I think it was 110% damage we had. And basically that meant that 12 bullets, so basically, obviously 3 in a burst, we had to hit 12 out of 12. With this weapon balancing, this is to the base sandbox. So every single playlist that has a BR that hasn't been modified will be 11 out of 12 shots. And that it provides a more consistent 4-shot, basically. That's pretty much it. That's all
that's the difference. Because there are still, you still find yourself shooting people. It's like, I've hit you 4 times, but you're still not dead.
Yeah, it's going to give you that. it's going to give you that little bit of breathing room. So that's always good. So moving on from the BR, we now move on to the carbine. The carbine, it's been around since Halo 2. It was missed out in Halo Reach, obviously, but the carbine felt a little bit underpowered before, but now it's been updated. The damage has been increased. The carbine now is capable of killing in 7 rounds instead of 8. So that increases the kill time, obviously, which is fantastic. The carbine accuracy has been increased. So basically, the bullet spread when you're firing has been tightened a little bit to make it that little bit more accurate. And the carbine red reticle range has been decreased. And that is, I'm seeing a little bit of a sort of a consistent standpoint from 343 here, where they're trying to make every single weapon as balanced as possible and try and remove a bit of the auto aim from everything to make it a little bit more skilled. So I'm going to be excited to start using the carbine again, to be honest, because I've missed that thing. It's going to be good. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I used to use the carbine all the time in Halo 3. It was one of the weapons I actually picked up, and it was on maps like Amplified, Guardian, and whatnot. And it's a good weapon, and even in our current settings, it's actually okay. It's not a bad weapon to use. So the fact that they've obviously made it, better is an even more of a reason to start picking it up.
It's something that it's good to. It's going to be a weapon that, I mean, I always used to grab it and just get rid of your secondary weapon. It's a good weapon to have as if you run out of bullets in your BR. It's just something that you can whip out and finish people off. And even I just find it fun, And I think it's annoying as well when people are shooting me with it. I'm like, noise and green shit everywhere. If you start smacking someone in the face with that over and over again, it can be a bit.
Get annoying.
It's a pain in the ass, and it can be one of those where it's just like you get pinged with that across map. You're like, oh. face plant, go away.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to use the carbine.
I agree with you on this thing of trying to globally manage the accuracy. I think you're right there. But does that beg the question? Does that kind of mean that you need less skill? I don't know. Probably not.
No, not really. I mean, if they're removing sort of dumbing down the auto aim on every weapon, then surely that would require more skill for every weapon. So it still requires you to aim.
I'm hoping it stops the issue what we mentioned before, where you'd be shooting somebody will run past. It's like, oh no, stay there. I don't want that person.
Yeah.
Damn auto aim.
So yeah, hopefully this should increase the skill gap a bit, or maybe even create a skill gap. So that could be good. Next one is the light rifle. Also features in R settings on the map. On certain maps, I believe we had it on Simplex. Was it? I think we still have it on Simplex. The light rifle zoomed rate of fire has been increased, as we said. But Ninja said after the live stream event that it was ridiculously overpowered because it fired like a BR when it was scoped in, as they had it before. But the rate of fire when it's scoped in is still increased, but it's not as prominent as it was in the live tuning event, which is good. The light rifle unzoomed rate of fire has been slightly decreased, which means if you zoom in, you will be firing quicker. That rewards, zooming in and actually using your cursor. The light rifle red reticle range has been increased to match that of the updated DMR range. So yeah, the light rifle is going to be a bit more of a skill-based weapon. Any thoughts on that, boys?
But yeah, obviously, if you're going to be using the light rifle and you're zoomed in, obviously you said it's faster rate of fire, but the only problem in this game is that you don't get knocked out of scope, so you could always be in scope. But I guess it'll force people, it'll force people to kind of use the weapon a bit more, considering, if it's zoomed in and it's a rate of fire, it will be the fastest kill time, won't it? Of all the weapons that we have.
It will be really, really, really quick to kill.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine as it was, to be fair. I think it's going to be even more dangerous now, but...
Well, the thing you have to consider is that everyone else other than us has been playing with the base sandbox, whereas we had the altered weapons. So if you were using a light rifle on R settings, it killed in 4-shot, and it was ridiculously good. Like, if you remember on Lockdown Slayer, you could grab a light rifle
people.
and you could sit in a base and you could pretty much be untouchable unless someone pushed you. So that'll be interesting. That'll be really interesting.
Racking up the assists from one base window.
Just one shot and you get about 40 kills with a light rifle. Probably not that much, but anyway, onto the DMR. The only thing that's been changed with the DMR is the red reticle range has been slightly decreased. that is including when you're zoomed and when you're not scoped in. So nothing's changed to the damage, nothing's changed to the firing rate. It's just the red reticle range, which has slightly been decreased.
Not a lot, is it? It's just
It's in all honesty, I would need to see and feel how the rest of the weapons play out in the sandbox. But for me, I still feel as if the firing rate could still be lowered. It honestly depends how the kill times sort of stack up against the other weapons. So I trust 343. I'll trust them.
Well, now that the BR is like it is for shot officially in all the maps, and the rate of fire has been slightly decreased. Maybe the DMR will kind of maybe bridge the gap a tiny bit, especially now that the range in the BR has been decreased as well. And the DMR always had a bigger range, but it might change a few things for us. Like when you're playing Station 9, and people switch to the DMR when you spawn, say top yellow and extraction's top green. People usually switch to DMR, and maybe with the lack of auto aim, maybe that will cause a problem for us if that's the case. So
yeah, maybe. I think it also comes back to what 343 tried to implement at the start of the game, when including both the DMR and the BR, is that they wanted the DMR to be sort of a utility weapon where you use from a long range, so you sort of sit back and sort of help your teammates out. Whereas the BR was more the run and gun sort of close combat kind of thing. So maybe they're just trying to bring that a bit more into account when trying to balance some of these weapons. Anyway, moving on to some of the weapons maybe most people in our community wouldn't use, but some of those who play Infinity Slayer, Big Team Slayer, and most of the matchmaking playlists will use these weapons in some of their loadouts. The assault rifle. Quite a lot has actually changed to the assault rifle. The damage has been slightly increased. The assault rifle now kills in 3 less rounds, so that's going to up the kill time. The assault rifle auto-aim angle has slightly been reduced, so obviously it's going to take a bit more skill.
That compensates for the definitely from the damage, because there's no more than just somebody running at you going, and I'm dead, look.
Yeah. And finally, the projectile spread has slightly been decreased. So as with the carbine, the bullet spread has been tightened. So I think the assault rifle is going to be a bit of a skillful weapon to use now. I mean, the quicker kill times will definitely compensate for the fact that the auto aim angle has been reduced. But you still need to point and shoot with that gun. I mean, I feel like it's going to be harder to use that gun.
Well, I was playing doubles yesterday, last night with Mark, and these kids just had the assault rifle, and we're like, it's cool, don't worry about it, we'll just use like BRs and jetpack. On a skyline, see if a guy's top middle with an assault rifle and he shoots you and he drops for you, you're dead before he can even hit the ground. That thing is a chainsaw. What was it Sim said? Like a minigun in a playground or something?
And a chainsaw in a playground.
Yeah, and like that thing is ridiculous, but now that they've kind of reduced the auto aim and the spread, I guess it will make it a bit more. You can't just wander into a room and just like target someone and hold down the trigger, which is pretty much what you've done in every other Halo game. But
can you imagine if you're doing something like doubles and big team? But if someone's got an AR and someone's got a BR, if someone's spraying you with that and someone else is shooting you the BR, you ain't getting nowhere. Are you? Someone's ripping your shields off and someone's popping you in the face. You're getting dropped like it's hot.
Yeah.
In fact, a little quick little memory flashback. Do you remember like on Snowbound when no one knew how to play Halo 3 and Lone Wolves and everyone had an assault rifle and used to go the assault rifle and then beat each other down? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was like every single time. But at least now, obviously because auto aim has been reduced, maybe you can fire a little bit later.
Quickly, before we move on to the rest of the weapons, I'd like to apologise to everyone now. We're having a few problems with the cameras freezing, and also Slinky's mic drifts off now and again. Both household Adams and Harry's at the moment have got big, heavy internet usage, so if they drop off, just bear with us. We do go for this in one shot as such because it's such a long show, but if they do drop off, please bear with us. We will pause it if they do completely drop off, but we do know about it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry guys. Anyway,
continue, Harry.
Moving on to the Storm Rifle, the Covenant version of the assault rifle. Some of you might not have used it before. It's kind of like a plasma rifle if you played Halo 2. I don't think it was in Halo 3. Was it the plasma rifle?
Yes.
Was it really? Oh wow.
Yes.
I didn't play enough matchmaking. Anyway, the Storm Rifle. The damage has been increased. The Storm Rifle kills in 3 less rounds, similar to that of the assault rifle. The auto-aim angle has been reduced, similar to that of the assault rifle, and the projectile spread has been decreased, similar to the assault rifle. pretty much same thing, really. It's going to take a bit more skill, obviously, because the auto aim has been reduced. Can't say I'll be using it that much because it's not my kind of thing, but obviously I'll try it out once the thing's been released.
Well, actually, believe it or not, on the map Onyx, the new one that we've been playing, the American one, Storm Rifle is on the map. And I don't know, they've been changing the settings. There's version 4, version 4.1, and they've moved over Shield on the Storm Rifle. But it's always been in the map. And I was playing with Adamax, Smithy, and Jimbo yesterday.
Warriors!
And like Smithy was actually using the Storm Rifle. And it's pretty ridiculous. Like, do you remember, it's kind of how people used to play Halo 3 where they had like a BR and a plasma rifle? And the plasma rifle would literally pop the shield in like 2 seconds and then you switch to the BR. So, but I doubt it will stay in our settings. But, you know.
It's interesting as well that in the new Simplex, if anyone's seen it, I think it's V4.1.
Yes.
The Storm Rifle is also underneath the basis. So I know in V4, and we'll hit on this a bit later on, V4, Ghost the Army's trying to, build a bridge with 343 and try and include some of the weapons that they've put in the game. I can't see us using anything like that in our settings. But anyway, moving on from the Storm Rifle to the Suppressor. This is the Promethean version of the previous two guns. Very much the same. The damage has been increased, kills in 3 less rounds. The auto-aim angle has been reduced, and the projectile spread has been decreased, so the spread has been tightened. Before the update, I kind of saw this as, the popcorn gun. It'll pop your shields, but it'll take forever. Like, you'll fire it around to popcorn. Like, it's going to hurt, but as soon as you get their shields down, it's going to take at least 5 or 6 seconds to kill him. So, with the 3 less rounds, honestly, I can't really see this making too much of a difference for the Suppressor. But if kill times are being increased and the auto is being reduced, that can only be a good thing. Am I right?
Yeah, you're true.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The thing is, if anyone walks at you with a suppressor, I just tend to laugh and just think, what the hell are you doing?
It's a noise more than anything. It's a noise, man.
It's weird, isn't it?
Just go away. Anyway, it doesn't really pertain to us too much because we don't really tend to use the suppressor in our settings. I know in V4 there's been the suppressors on a couple of maps. But anyway, moving on to something that is not a primary weapon is the saw. Now, 343 have always maintained that the saw should always be double the kill time, or I think it's double the kill time of any fully automatic weapon. So we're talking Storm Rifle, Suppressor, and Assault Rifle. So to maintain the consistency of that, it does double the damage per second of the Assault Rifle. So the saw has been given a buff. Didn't really need it. In all honesty, really didn't need it. So anyway, what do you guys think of that? I think a saw. Imagine, right? Your host, you've got a saw. You can call in a damage boost with this updated saw, which is gonna kill people and it's gonna rip people to shreds on host with a damage boost. I can't imagine the horror. I mean, I don't think I'll ever play team doubles again. I'll be voting team doubles pro every single time.
It's probably the closest you're going to come to playing like Snipedrone, just being completely untouchable. Seriously. Honestly, you pick up that thing and it's just going to, and a damage boost, be like, yep, I'm Snipedrone. You're not killing me, but I'm killing you, sunshine. No matter what's happening, I'm jumping up and down and you're dying.
Yeah, I just had this horrible thought in my head if you had like two of you with swords. Like,
good lord!
It'd be so funny though. You could literally just back it up into a corner and say, right, imagine we're playing Flood. If they run out, just shoot them. Yeah, okay, I'm dead again. Never mind.
I want to see how fast the kill time is with 2 people shooting at 1 person with a saw. Like it'd be a second. It should be like a second. Because if it's double the kill time of an assault rifle, it's going to be about.
There is some kick ass. You got to think that there is some kick ass spray on that thing. There is I suppose if it's close range and fair play, but there is some massive amounts of spray.
With the saw though, a lot of people don't realise if you actually pace your shots, you can hit that thing from a pretty deadly range, and your spread seems pretty tight. So I don't want to imagine playing Infinity Slayer where someone gets a random ordnance drop at their feet and it's a saw and they've already got a damage boost, and I'll quit out.
I think if anything, as far as big teams concerned, it'll be good for big team because of vehicles, for instance, going at a Warthog driving by, going at a Warthog or going at a Mantis or going at a Banshee, something like that. Having a crack at a vehicle with that thing, that's really going to help. Just laying into front of it like, yep, sitting there like Terminator.
Horrific thought of a Warthog with a saw in the side seat. It's like having two turrets. Imagine that. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Anyway, on from the saw, which is going to be deadly. It's going to give me nightmares. Onto the Magnum. The damage has been slightly increased. The Magnum is still capable of killing in 6 rounds. So that basically just means it's going to kill in the same amount of rounds. But if you're one shot, maybe it'll give you that little bit of difference to maybe clean up a kill, whereas you wouldn't. I watched Ninjas on the weapon tuning live stream. The Flagnum looked absolutely deadly. I think it was Adam, you pointed out at one point. He was running with the flag and he shot someone in the back once who was one shot with the Flagnum and he just dropped. I mean, obviously, again, like you pointed out to me, Adam, it was obviously a LAN, but it's pretty crazy. It's pretty scary.
It's ridiculous.
Still shows what's to come though at LAN, doesn't it? Really. Don't know if has anyone mentioned this yet? Has the, and this could be something that I've completely missed, and correct me if I'm here, has the issue been fixed yet where you can't shoot immediately after picking up the flag?
Yes, that was fixed a while ago now, actually.
Was it? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's
so you can literally just pick up the flag and nail people now?
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Finally!
That was fixed when they originally brought in the X's, but the X's weren't red. I think that was the update that came in.
3 weeks ago, is it?
Yeah.
Right, cool.
The final weapon that's been tuned is as we said before, the Mantis and Warthog chain gun. The damage has been increased. We touched on that a little bit last week, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But again, that just brings a bit more power to the vehicles, and they're going to make them pretty difficult to stop. So yeah, weapon balance in a nutshell, it's pretty good, pretty darn good. Adam, do you have anything else to say in the old Halo Bulletin this week?
Well, a little bit further down the paragraphs of mentioning of all the weapons, there's a lot of things being talked about in terms of a lot of people complain about CSR, which for a lot of you people don't know. It's pretty much the ranking system that was introduced after people complained about it, but people still complained about it because you couldn't see it, and more so people complained about it because it didn't work. I'm pretty sure Jim Bossy was the first person to get A50, especially in Europe, and he was pulling in people.
Still bad on land, so it's all good.
Pulling in people of about level of 30s when he was 49. But basically, the global skill searching, aka the CSR, has been increased in all playlists. Hopefully now that it primarily searches for both teammates and opponents, and the playlist, per playlist level. Now, when you play, you should hopefully pull in the chance of people that are around your skill level. Whereas before, I think is it 10 seconds to 30 seconds? And then it changed. After that, it found a game with anyone, any team of 4 or whatever. But now it's been tightened, and the times have been made a lot longer so that you do pull in people more.
It's a minute now, isn't it?
I think it's over a minute now.
Up to a minute, I think.
And the other thing that's been done, again, which is quite interesting how they've done this, across all playlists and modes, player base speed has been increased from 100 to 110. 110 was what we played in Halo 3, and I know the character models are different, and obviously in Halo Reach, you kind of skated across the floor with too much speed, but the fact that this has been created in a way that buy free for free, it will work. It's not like we've messed about with the settings and we're like flying around everywhere. But every single playlist now has faster moving, Spartans, and this could change like a lot. Like, if you could play a big team and people will have more of a strafe, people can move a lot quicker. And the last thing is that on the older maps such as Haven, I'm pretty sure. What's the other one? What's the one with the big man cannon in the middle? It's been a while since I played it.
Oh god, I don't know.
I can't remember. Is it Solaris or something, or Solari?
Solace.
Solari is the double
version.
version.
Man cannon?
Oh, it has like a big lift in the middle.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and they've went to all these original maps and have actually changed the spawns that they started with, and added like the team throwdown spawns obviously in Team Pro down the American one, they have all the different maps. Like they have Abandon, they have the red and blue spawns. They have red and blue spawns on that map, Solus and Haven. So it's going to be, a bit more. The spawns aren't going to be as like. I think it's on you play like any playlist with Haven, everybody spawns either bottom open or top closed. But now it's been changed, so it's more fair. So it's good to see that they're going to change it up a little bit. And also, all the ordinances have been changed. It will no longer be, say you get certain maps, you got Railgun, bottom closed on Haven. They're changing around, obviously, the spawns of all the ordinances. So it'll give people a bit of originality when they play next time, as opposed to the same usual, drops.
Yay! People can get an incineration cannon on every map now. I can't wait for that. Yay.
That's my favourite gun, mate. Don't miss.
Welcome to matchmaking.
Yeah.
Right. Are you happy, lads, that we've covered the bulletin?
It looks pretty covered to me.
It was the biggie that we've been waiting for. I mean, we knew about these, and I think. What day is it coming on, Harry? What day?
It's coming June 3rd.
June 3rd. So yeah, we knew it was coming anyway, but this is kind of the official layout and the actual official. I mean, even some stuff on there like we mentioned before about the what did we say? There's something on there that various different things that we actually wasn't confirmed. I think we just only confirmed today about the two-shot beatdown on it as well.
Yeah, that was only confirmed.
That's
in the bulletin.
The big thing. So yeah, some big stuff. Question to you both then. Is it too little too late, or is it just the start?
Too little too late, yes. It should never have been this long to get these kind of fixes out. If they had a public beta, obviously they could get a bit more of a scope of what people wanted and what the game needed. But it is a massive positive that they've not just thrown Halo 4 under the bus, and they've actually given it a good go to make the whole thing a bit more balanced. And what I like the most about that bulletin, which Adam covered, is that they've made matchmaking a bit more competitive. I mean, if you kind of, just sort of throw away the random ordnance drops, you can get all kinds of weapons in all different maps now. Especially on Haven, where before it's completely unbalanced, where one team spawned bottom open and one spawned closed. Now they've made it completely symmetrical. They've cut that map in half, and they said, all right, one team's going to spawn over here, and the other is going to spawn over the other side, and that makes it a lot more competitive. It makes it symmetrical, and each team has a chance. So it honestly depends what each team does to win the game, and I think that's good. I think that's showing promising signs from 343. But too little, too late. Yes. But it's promising for the future. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what... It's a little bit too late in the sense that... I apologize if my camera's frozen. But, yeah, it is a little bit too late. But at the same time, it's good that they're still taking care of the people. Like, there's still, thousands and thousands of people that still play the game on a regular basis. And, they must realize the only way... They can't exactly make a new Halo and expect hundreds of thousands of people to come and join. It's not going to happen. So they need to look after the people that are here, and they're listening to the people, the hardcore gamers, people that are, giving their 10 cents. So yeah, I think it's good that they've done it, but it is a little bit too late. But to be fair, it was a bit too late. Even a couple months after the game was out, and there's a lot of things they didn't do. But oh well,
things are starting to get better, aren't they? They're getting there. I mean, like what we've always said. Two things what kind of went wrong. MLG, that was a big loss. We all knew that. And I think you're right, Gary. Slinky, it's just the public beta would have shown so many. One, it would have given people time to be prepared to, we're going to get Halo 4, we're going to be ready for this. It may have even, I don't know, I say it won't change out with MLG, but, and also they could have worked out the kinks and the bugs, and we could have had a working leveling system in place. People give something to play for. Yeah, it's whether we recover from losing so many players. That's the problem.
In all honesty, I'm not trying to act like a public beta would have been like the be all or end all. I mean, it wouldn't have fixed everything. It wouldn't have been a quick fix. I mean, you look at Halo Reach and what Bungie did with that, with the DMR. I did play a lot of the Reach beta, but I remember there was Bloom in the beta as well, and people continuously said, "No, we don't like this. Get rid of this. It's not good." And Bungie still kept it in the game until.
I think they did increase it. Decrease it though, didn't they? I'm sure they made the reticle small. If I'm not,
it was only after a while they decreased it. It wasn't anywhere near the start of the game.
Oh well, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Next thing. So, if you don't know, Ramirez, who I'm actually going to just for anyone else, anyone who's not familiar, or from people outside the US, that we do try and promote these settings within the EU anyway. We use them at our tournaments and things like that. I don't know if it's going to be backwards on my cam. It's HS Ramirez. If you don't know how to spell it, it's there. If you do want to download our settings and our game types, they're there on his file share. You give them a go. We do promote them on our stream and things like that. If you didn't know, Ramirez has announced that the EU, topmid.eu, where we get all our settings from, where we all the EU scene plays, we decided to keep our own settings and not follow Ghost V4. Even though, 4SK has now been announced, it's going to be official, blah, blah, blah. We originally made these settings because we wanted a 4-shot and because the maps and the game types, they were shit, weren't they? If we're going to be blunt about it, they were gash.
Let's call a spade a spade. They were absolutely terrible. And They still are.
So I'm going to pass this over to Adam for his thoughts and his views on it. But essentially, Ramirez has announced, and credit to Ramirez, a big hats off to him. He's another one of these. We always talk about unsung heroes and things like that. The guy does know what he's talking about. I personally, for my own reasons, think it's a bad choice, but that's my own reasons. Everyone's got their own opinions. Mine's different to anyone. I'll talk about mine later. But credit to the guy. He puts a lot of time and effort. And Rami, he does know what he's talking about. He's a big name, and he just knows the crack. He knows what's going on. He knows the score. And I think I trust his decision. My reasons for not wanting to go, my reasons for wanting to follow Ghost settings are to do with community and bringing people together and bringing more people into the game, not the actual gameplay. Rami's point on it is generally to do with giving people in the EU an enjoyable competitive experience, and I think that his settings do that. They are good and they are better than Ghost, and he even talks about Ghost settings in there, and he understands why Ghost. He's gonna, you can't polish a turd, but you can roll it and glitter kind of thing. He's doing the best with what he's working with, whereas Rami's taking what we've got and he's giving it to us, and I think that these will definitely play. For Insomnia, our own settings will definitely play better, and our own maps and game types better than if we take on V4 settings. I think that's my personal opinion. From someone who's going to be watching it and not actually competing in it, I will definitely enjoy watching these games more. There'll be better games, of teams on these settings, on the EU ones. So for anyone out there in America or anyone else wants to try them, have a look. I'm pretty sure by now we've shown them up, but. Give me a download, HS Ramirez, they're on there. Adam,
yeah.
What do you think, pal?
Well, I know for a fact that Rami's going to be loving it, that you just, put him on a massive pedestal. But he deserves it. He's pretty much has taken, charge along with Septic and making the game types. But I think the main thing is a lot of people didn't see this because of the coverage at Reflex. But at the event we went to, there was no setup. No one was trying to run it. And he pretty much took full control. Ref the admin that set it up, done everything, and you can tell that he has a lot of heart into the game. As much as people, think that Rami just plays the game to win events, he cares about it. And he, from what I've been told, is that the settings are going to be very similar to Ghost's. I hope Ghost, won't feel a bit ripped off by it. But what Andy will do, and what I've been told from several people in the community behind it, is that they'll look at the maps once the update's out. They'll look at Ghost's game types, and they'll remove things like they'll remove the suppressor, they'll remove the scatter shot if it's in it. They'll take away the weapons that we've never really used ever in any of our settings. I don't expect the sword to be, appear on maps like Simplex. They won't. And he's pretty much going to strip down, to the essentials that we use. And, to be fair, I'll support that. I mean, the way I see it is that the ghosting army is trying to lure in the casuals by keeping weapons in, like the storm rifle, the suppressor, like having weapons on the map that like they would be able to use that they're used to. Whereas Andy doesn't need to, capture an audience. He needs to just improve the settings in general, because the people that are here, need to have the best, to see. And I understand what you're saying. Like, you think it's better to be with Ghost, and I agree in the sense that we'll have more of like a universal setting. We'll make a bigger community, but at the same time, we're not going to go MOG. There is no MOG. PGL itself, maybe a team or two will go over. And I don't know. I think he's right in what he's doing. He's making game types for us to play. So,
don't quote me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that I've seen people from the EU scene talking to Ghosty Army on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure that he said we should stick with our own and we should promote it. Don't quote me on that. I could probably find the tweet, but I'm certain he said you should promote within and promote your own stuff. Your thoughts, Harry?
I don't really like the decision, to be honest. Again, like we said, credit to Andy. He's done such a great job with the settings, and he's sort of looked after us since we decided to go with the 4-shot settings. So, but it comes down to how many players you can pull in. And with such a great tool as the throwdown playlist that 343 have sort of granted us as a competitive community, I just think we should utilise that. And I think, fair enough, we're going to keep some of the settings that Ghost is creating, but I'm going to try and stay as objective as possible here. Some of the positives of going with V4 is that obviously people get to use the throwdown playlists, not only for practice, but to try and get more members of the community in, because there are a lot of European players that play in a variety of different playlists, but don't know about sort of the competitive scene, and don't really know about the top mid or any other website. So that's a massive positive. And again, it comes down to trying to pull in as many players as possible, but at the same time, a negative of that is that he has to try and keep 343 happy by involving weapons like the suppressor and the assault rifle, and stuff like that just isn't competitive. It's not competitive. There's no way that you can try and tell me that a suppressor on a map is going to be competitive. There's no way. There's no way. No. Especially on maps like Abandon and Adrift. There's no way. And Ghost's kind of standpoint is a lot of people think that he's trying to keep these weapons on the map to try and promote casuals into the playlist. That's straight up not the case. No casual is going to come in the throwdown playlist and see the V4 setting and pick up a suppressor and be like, oh yeah, I should play this place more often. Hey. There's one suppressor on the map. That's great. I use that all the time. No, there's no way. That is not the reason. The reason Ghost has kept these weapons on these maps is because he wants to try and build a bridge with 343. He wants to try and gain their support a little bit and try and, be a bit more accommodating to what they've produced out of the game. But so kind of straying a little bit off topic here, I think we should go with the V4, even though it contains maps like Adrift and Abandon, which should have been long gone. There's no way those maps should even be anywhere near a competitive rule set. I think we should go with V4 just because of the benefits it comes out of. But if we're sticking with the top mid rule set, I have full faith in Ramirez and what he's doing, because he has produced such a stellar rule set in the past, and some of the game types he's produced have been absolutely fantastic, and some of the game types that he's chosen, I should say. Maybe he didn't produce them, but coming back to what I said on the maps like Abandon and Adrift that are in the V4 settings, the reason they're using there is because over in America, AGL, they have to accommodate up to about 70 teams, which means some of the rounds need to be played on split screen, and obviously with maps like Station 9 and Dispatch, you get an awful lot of screen lag on those maps, so they need to accommodate maps that can be used, such as Adrift and Abandon, that are on the disc, so they don't have these issues. Now, obviously, these aren't the most competitive settings. I think Ghost has come out publicly and said this is the only reason we have maps like Adrift and Abandon still in the rules. because we have to accommodate split screen tournaments. But we don't have that problem. We're only hitting 20, 30 team events. We will never need to have a split screen round. So it's I don't know. I'd be happy either way because I'd obviously rather go with V4 because of the throwdown players and some of the practice and some of the teams you get to play against.
I think the only way, I'm sorry to break you off there, but what you're saying about 20, 30 team events, and this is my point of view. I mean, I put this on the forum and I was told to, I got slaughtered by Whiting. Not that I'm bothered, it's Whiting. But it's, if you want in 20, 30 team events, 40 team events, blah, 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 for me, the only way that you're going to do it is through Ghosts V4 settings. And this is, and like I say, I agree with you completely. If we're going with Andy's settings, there's, as far as us playing it and things like that, it's going to be solid and it's going to be good. But if we do follow Ghost settings, then there'll be no pre-game warriors. People will be jumping into matchmaking to go and, while they can't get a scrim, people will be going, there'll be more people playing it. There will be more teams that you don't, that's the only way that years and years ago, that's the only way that I came into it really, as far as playing the MLG playlists. You've got lots of teams came out of MLG playlists, lots of teams played it and they've practiced in it and got a team together. It's just, for me, it's crushing the divide, the US-EU divide. It's breaking that wall and it is setting a global setting, and that's all it is to me. From my point of view, it's as a community and as a group of people playing together. That's the only thing. It's nothing against Andy's settings at all. Like you said, they're going to be good.
Yeah,
it's bringing us together.
I tell you what, I miss the most out of MLG. It's not the massive tournaments. It's not the holy grail. It's not like all these player profiles. All these superstars that play Halo. It's the fact that we had a universal rule set. Everyone was playing the most competitive settings, which was on the biggest stage, which was at the time MLG. So, and it was universally used. It was used all around the world. It was used at Australian events. It was used at our events, European events.
Americans can, I don't know why they want to, but if they want to, they can come over to Insomnia and they could play us, and we could play with their settings. There'd be no, the reason Ninja's a great player, regardless what situation you put him in, and he loved 4-shot no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it was easy to fall into, because he enjoyed what he does, and he's a damn good player. But other people are going to be pissed as such if we're playing these rules and settings. If two pro teams wanting to come over from America, two number one teams wanting to come over here and play, they're not going to want to practice against us on our connections for that whole amount of time just to come over and play us. They want to be playing as normal, they want to play normal rules, and you've also got more of a chance of. It's just like I say, it's no disrespect to Andy at all, and I think you're in the same boat as me. It's you want to, they're going to be good regardless either way, and we're not expecting. At the end of the day, it's tough shit regardless of what we say.
Exactly, and I think it just comes down to the fact that the positives of following V4 outweigh the negatives. I think that's kind of what it comes down to for me.
There's a lot of people following it as well, I think, the fact of that, because, and again, this is no disrespect, it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
But because Ramirez has said it, they're just going to instantly trust what Andy says. They're not even going to give it a go. Andy's got his reasons for doing it, and they're damn good reasons. I think other people would just say, I'm not playing that, I'm going to play his own. Just because Andy said we're going to play it, they're not giving a reason. It's simply because Ramirez says, yeah, go, that we're going to do it. And not enough people are going to put the thought into it. My personal opinion is we should go with V4 to follow suit.
Well,
it's their own, innit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we just have to see what Andy comes out with, and obviously, we'll need to see. I mean, obviously, if people want to play, say, Ghost has abandoned all these maps, and obviously we won't need to play ones because we don't need split screen. But if we're playing like a playlist with these maps in it, then people aren't going to be happy, and people are going to want to pick what they want to pick. And if it's Andy's, then it's Andy's.
It's worth noting as well that the top mid rule set will always be, it's not going to be another varied settings. It's still going to use the base the sandbox settings that will be using V4. So there's no altered damage settings or anything like that, so you don't really need to worry about that too much. But it just comes down to the game types that are being used.
As long as we're using them, I will personally promote them, and I will personally use them and back them up. But it's not by choice; it's by us as an EU community that we have to look after one another and look after ourselves as a group. I will always. My heart is following Ghost and following as a whole. We all stick together. Together we do. Together you produce more. Blah blah blah. Bring more people in to do everything. But as far as right now, if Top Mid and Insomnia are going to be using Andy's settings, then let's roll with it, and let's. It's tough shit. We've got to promote it within, and we've got to do it. I think that's pretty much settled it, and it really just a quick discussion that kind of turns into a full-blown debate we could talk about for hours and hours and hours. All right, yeah. So if you want to try it though, guys, HS space Ramirez, give them a go. If you or stick whatever you're doing, stick with V4. It's your own choice. Do what you like.
Yeah.
All right, this will be kind of a quickie, really, but it's borderline on growing Halo, growing the future. A couple of tweets from Mr. Puckett, Mr. MLG's own main caster, talking about the old days of Halo, and Ghosty Army's been speaking to him on the phone, and he's also been tweeting himself, and even Sundance, Mr. Giovanni, Mr. MLG himself has been commenting on these about the old days of casting. It's good that he wants there because you got to imagine how many followers. What's he got? I'm just looking here now. Just short of 40,000 followers that guy's got. I think it's safe to say when we lost him to COD, we did lose a great caster and a great promoter of ML. I mean, we know he plays Halo anyway. I've seen him streaming it now and again anyway, and still playing with the pros. But I think it's even Ghosts, but making progress. Hashtag Halo 4. You bring people like that on board, and even the Ace is Sonny when we get him back in the booth together. If you can bring some dance back into Halo 4, then things might change. I mean, it's safe to say that he probably would have never dropped Halo, wouldn't he, before all the politics with Virgin Gaming and things like that behind it. It was never their decision to get rid of it. It was politics and tough bollocks and legalisation and all sorts of shite. But yeah, it's good to see people wanting to come back to it. That's for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the main things was when we sort of lost MLG when obviously we lost Puckett as well. We never really gained a voice of Halo. If you remember Halo 2 and Halo 3, that was all commentated by Chris Puckett pretty much. And he was always sort of the voice of Halo. And now we've sort of got Gandhi and Maven, and they do such a good job because they're such good personalities and they know so much about the game. But there's no real sort of presenter, if you know what I mean. There's no real guy that doesn't know what's going on but knows how to say what's going on, if you know what I mean. So
yeah,
it's hard.
Because like Puckett's always been the drive force. I mean, anyone can remember his voice. You can sit there and just imagine his head playing in your head, saying, "What's up, guys? MLG top 10," and he just like he's such a talent, and we had him first. And the fact that he went to COD wasn't like a slap in the face like some people have been tweeting. It's more like he was going where the money was, where he
works for MLG though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's gonna have to, and it's not like he has to take time out of his day to come, commentate like a smaller like little LAN set out by like Ninja and friends, which obviously is now growing. But you've got people like Gandhi stepping in, and people didn't like Gandhi at first, the commentator, but I thought he was great. Like maybe because I like him as a player, but I guess it kind of opens up more doors. If you know what I mean, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is what you know me. I promote. Your camera's froze, and it just froze on that face. Then
that's great.
Yeah, you know me. I'm all over trying to build a bigger thing. But yeah, we're on a quick one. We've got one more topic. We need to wrap this up anyway. Trying to get these below an hour, so we'll swiftly move on if that's all right with you guys.
That's right with me.
To the. Are we doing the next one after Pro Gaming? Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Pro Gaming League, PGL. In a nutshell, game battles with money, I think. Game battles with money promoted by Ninja.
Yeah, well, it's basically trying to bring together the competitive console and PC gamers to like one massive, esports scene, and they're trying to make it the biggest as possible. I mean, they pretty much have like massive tournaments, and even before this, they didn't have a lot of money in these tournaments and these ladders, and people joined it anyway just to kind of get the scene a bit bigger. But they've already announced that the Black Ops 2 challenge is $17,000. Sorry, $17,500. That's game battles have never ran anything like that before, and I know for a fact there's gonna be a lot of people that go, "Yo, man, do you want to take part in this like Call of Duty ladder?" "Nah, man, it sounds crap." "No, man, it's like $17,000. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? In the Halo one, I'm pretty sure it's 11 grand. I'm not sure.
It's 12 and a half, I think. $12,500.
Yeah, like, I mean, how many people can just jump in? Like, sorry, can we sit at home and be like, "Yo, let's go win $17,000." Like, no one
Still,
can.
whether it's secure with it being online, it's still online tournaments. We know can always be a bit bullshit, but hey, they're trying to do something for community, so can't knock it, can we?
Yeah, and, like I know that Outbreak have signed up to it. That's Adam Mike's team, Adam Mike, Jimbo, and Smithy and Snipedrone. They were playing in it, and they're 7th on a ladder, and they've got like I think it's 4 or 5 wins. And the thing is, you can go in there and play people straight away, and even if it's like an American host. I know Zyrus and Hybrid have been crying out for like a European playlist, or they've got the European doubles ladder, but the 4v4 is obviously where it's at. And even if you can jump on and play Americans, like not all Americans are like high society or like vibe. They're like decent, and with the connection against you, like you can make some. You can get aggravated, but obviously you're gonna want to win. Like now, I think it gives more of an opportunity to play different teams, whereas our scene's like tiny. Like you come on and play a scrim or a random 4 game, and that's you for the night.
Yeah.
So
I think it comes back to as well what we were saying, sort of like a universal game type, is that if we use V4, suddenly our community is connected to the PGL community and is connected to all other communities that are using this universal rule set. So
Just gonna say that. God damn it. Beat me to it.
But yeah, it's good. Any provision towards Halo, it's fine by me. So good job, PGL.
yeah,
All right. Last two then, really quickly, because we've got to keep this under an hour. So, really quick one. Halo has seen, I think it's sad to say, the loss of a true legend. Harry, a.k.a. Lethal, is time to step down and stop playing Halo. He's moved on to StarCraft, unfortunately. For all those that know, Lethal was one of the most all-time players of Halo, Halo 2. Him and LA1, they used to just be absolute mental cases. So I think we all deserve to say thank you to Harry and good luck in StarCraft. I know that he enjoys it and he enjoys playing competitively, but Halo has lost a true legend. And unfortunately, Team Outbreak were left -1, but they have picked up SpongeBob SquarePants himself, Mr. Snipedrone, a.k.a. Michael. So congratulations to him. We'll see how they do. I don't know what happened on the team front as far as Optimum were concerned. Was he still teaming with them? What's with the face?
He said he was, but because they weren't playing as much, I think he just made the decision. I haven't seen a single one of them online apart from Snipedrone.
Okay, all right. As I said, that were quick anyway. So good luck to those guys. I know Jim and that lot they've been enjoying it. Last but not least, we're going to sign off with this one. The new Destiny trailer, Law of the Jungle. Oh, they're pushing this one out. They're really pushing the game. I think it's looking good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer and the soundtrack like itself. So it kind of reminded me more of Halo. Like Halo 4 is kind of went off the rails, and like, but yeah, no, I actually quite enjoyed the cinematics. There was no actual gameplay though, which is like the same with everything. But it looked promising. Looked kind of weird, but I guess not everything that's weird is always bad.
What did you think, Harry? Are you going to be buying it?
Depends if it comes out on PC, because I need a lot of clarity in terms of what's going on with the Xbox One, because obviously if it needs Connect and it needs to be connected every 24 hours to play video games, we're not going to be using them at LAN events. So honestly, it depends. I can't really see myself buying a PS4, but apparently it's going to be a launch title on the Xbox One, PS4, and hopefully on PC as well. So maybe. It looks really good. I can tell you that much. It looks fantastic. So I can't wait.
Right, guys, that's sadly the end of episode 5 today. I'm really sorry for all the problems that we've had. It's just been a bit of a mess. It's been a bit of a rush today. Cameras, internet, Slinky's face constantly. Face will change like that if wind changes direction, pal. Yeah, as you can see now, Adam's camera's currently froze. Sound, it's just the internet. We're having a few troubles. We are getting new, all being well, new cameras soon. We'll see. Next few months, new cameras are coming. Especially, we'll see. We'll sort it. Don't worry. Stick with us. Stick with us. Please do. Follow us on YouTube. Twitter handles on there. Get us followed on Twitter. I am in the process of looking for a few American pros to come on, talk about the V4 settings. If there's anyone out there, Ghost.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. If anyone wants to come on, give us a shout. Add me on Twitter. Guys, thank you all for watching. Share the video. Do what you need to do. This is Sims, Az, and Slinky signing off.
Peace.